हेलो फ्रेंड्स। तो आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे यूनिट नंबर 5 में इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस कौन से हैं। तो पहला क्वेश्चन है, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय टीम स्ट्रक्चर? एक्सप्लेन डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ टीम स्ट्रक्चर. So basically, what is team structure? It means that department structure is how departments are organized into teams, and team structure means how individuals are organized in a team. So basically, there are three types of team structure: democratic, chief programmer, and mixed team. So these three team structures are important: demographic, chief programmer, and mixed team. तो इसमें से हम एक एक का देखेंगे कि चीफ प्रोग्रामर टीम क्या है। तो बेसिकली जो चीफ प्रोग्रामर टीम होता है उसमें ये देखिए, आप डायग्राम से समझ सकते हैं कि चीफ प्रोग्रामर टीम में मतलब यहाँ पर एक पर्सन होता है जो चीफ प्रोग्रामर होता है और उसके अंडर में टीम मेंबर्स होते हैं। तो ये हो गया हमारा चीफ प्रोग्रामर टीम. सो टीम मेंबर्स आर डायरेक्टली रिपोर्टिंग टू द chief programmer, and chief programmers is having a well defined responsibility, like he has to find out the requirements, he has to do the designing, right, and check the software code, test the software code. Now chief programmer team में क्या होता है, chief programmer के पास बहुत सारे functions हो जाते हैं तो उसको और भी लोगों की हेल्प लगती है. दैट इज वाई वी आर हैविंग co-pilot. Co-pilot मतलब they share the coding part. There is a editor who made typed a new or change the code. Then there is a programmer clerk who will write and maintain documents. Then there is a tester who will actually find the code problems in the code. So these are the different roles in a chief programmer team. फिर आता है डेमोक्रेटिक टीम. सो नंबर 2 इज आवर डेमोक्रेटिक टीम. डेमोक्रेटिक टीम मतलब डज नॉट इन्फोर्स एनी फॉर्मल टीम हायरार्की. दैट मीन्स डिसीजंस आर टेकन बेस्ड ऑन द डिस्कशन. सो बेसिकली जो टीम स्ट्रक्चर है वो कुछ इस तरह का दिखता है कि हर एक मेंबर इक्वल है. Okay, these are all the members of a democratic team. They all are equal and they all can communicate with each other. So basically इसमें क्या है कि इंडिविजुअली डिसीजन नहीं लिया जाता है. हर एक टीम मेंबर एक दूसरे के साथ डिस्कस करते हैं एंड डिसीजंस आर टेकन बेस्ड ऑन डिस्कशन. सो एनी मेंबर इज फ्री टू डिस्कस विथ एनी अदर मेंबर. सो all the links are present, and since a lot of debate and discussion among the team member take place, so basically this kind of team is existing for steering committees or for board of directors. Then there is a mixed control team structure. Mixed control team structure, it takes the best of chief programmer as well as this democratic teams. So here there will be a project manager at the top, then project manager. Under the project manager we are having the senior members, and senior members are reporting to the project manager. Then the team members, they are at the same platform and they can work as a democratic team, but they directly report to the senior manager. So it's a mixture of chief programmer and democratic teams. So we have completed this question. Let's go to the next question. Next question है, explain 5 stages of team development. Also state the different types of people needed to form a balanced team. So basically the 5 stages of team development is forming. Forming मतलब the team members get to know one another and try to set up some ground rules about behavior. They all discuss with one another and they form a team. Then storming, it means conflict arise at various when many people are working together, definitely there may be conflicts. So conflicts are needs to be eased out or it needs to be solved. So in the stage 3 the conflicts are settled. Then the team will start performing in stage 4 and then adjourning. Once the work is completed, then the group is dispersed. So these are the 5 stages of team development. Now different types of people needed to form a balanced team. अब balanced team में क्या होना चाहिए? There should be one person who is the coordinator, means the person is good at chairing the meeting. Then the second is the plant or the idea generator, means a person who will come up with new ideas. Then monitor or evaluator means good at evaluating ideas. Then shaper means help team members to follow a right direction. Then the team workers, that means the actual workers in the team, they may be testers, analysts, programmer, they all are working towards the common goal. And then we also have these kind of roles like the resource investigator, means the person who is trying to find out new resources or information. Then the completer or finisher, the person who is concerned with getting the task completed. Then implementer means a good team player who is willing to undertake the less attractive task and complete those tasks. And then comes the specialist. Specialist means the techie who is having good knowledge or who is ready to acquire new knowledge for the sake of the team. So with this we have completed the question. Now let's go to the next question. Next question क्या है कि what is the importance of software quality? So discuss 6 major external software quality characteristics identified by ISO 9126. So the importance of software quality is increasing criticality of the software. Software is increasingly being used in systems that can threaten or support human life and well-being. Then comes the intangibility of the software. We cannot touch the software, so we don't know how much is the progress in the software. Then comes the project control concerns, because we have sub-processors and there are inputs from subsequent sub-processors, so it becomes difficult to control the overall project, or there is concerns regarding project control. Then comes errors. Errors accumulate with each stage of the design. That means if project goes from one stage to another stage, there are definitely errors that get included in every stage. Then error becomes more expensive to remove at later stage. That is why it is good to remove error at early stage. So this is the importance of software quality. Then what is the 6 major external software quality characteristics identified by ISO? First is functionality. So in functionality we have suitability, accuracy, interoperability. So you get these words are self-explanatory, so you can explain all these terms. Suitability मतलब कि वो particular software suitable होना चाहिए. Accuracy मतलब it should give accurate result. And interoperability मतलब कि वो other software के साथ interact करके properly work करना चाहिए. That is interoperability. Then there are sub characteristics of reliability. Reliability means there has to be maturity, fault tolerance, recoverability, and then we have the sub characteristics of usability. तो usability में क्या आ गया? Understandability, learnability, operability, attractiveness. Then there is sub characteristics of efficiency, means time, behavior, and resource utilization. Sub characteristics of maintainability include analyzability, changeability, stability, and testability. Sub characteristics of portability also include adaptability, installability, and coexistence. Replaceability also. So with this we have completed the ISO quality requirements. Now we'll go to next question. State 4 popular process capability models and explain any one of them in detail. So 4 process कैपेबिलिटी मॉडल्स क्या है? एक है ISO 9001 2000, दूसरा है एक ये सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है ISO 9001 2000. Many big companies they take this particular they apply this. Then we have CMM, we have CMM I, CMM2 and capability evaluation. But इसमें से सबसे सिंपल आपको CMM है, जिसका एक्सप्लेनेशन मैंने पहले वीडियो में दे दिया है। इसका जो डायग्राम है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। ये देखिए, ये डायग्राम आपको याद रखना है that there are 5 stages: initial, repeatable, defined, managed and optimizing। तो ये डायग्राम आपको अच्छे से याद रखना है। दिस इज द डायग्राम फॉर CMM, कैपेबिलिटी मैच्योरिटी मॉडल। सो ये मैंने ऑलरेडी लास्ट वीडियो में आपको एक्सप्लेन कर दिया है। फिर है गिव अ ब्रीफ एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ द मेन एक्टिविटीज इन्वॉल्व इन सॉफ्टवेयर टेस्टिंग। सो द मेन एक्टिविटीज इन्वॉल्व इन सॉफ्टवेयर टेस्टिंग, सी आप जनरल जो आपके आइडियाज है ना उससे भी आप लिख सकते हो, बट इफ यू राइट इट एज पर द पॉइंट्स गिवन इन द बुक देन you will definitely get good marks. So please try to follow these points. First is test planning. Test planning means we are going to plan all the test, then test suite design, then test case execution and result checking, test reporting, debugging, error correction. Defect resetting and regression testing. So regression testing and test closure. So these terms are self-explanatory. So please explain those terms one by one and you can write about all these steps. So basically एट द बॉटम ये सारे स्टेप्स को ये एक्सप्लेन किया गया है कि टेस्ट प्लान क्या होता है, कि हमको टेस्ट इन्वायरमेंट स्पेसिफाई करना है। वी हैव टू specify whether we are going to we have to create a usage profile where we try to find out failure, fault in the system and what happens, and when the system is heavily loaded then what happens to the components. Then the management of testing, basically we have to find out the issues and we have to resolve those issues. So testers, what kind of mistakes they make, what is meant by fault, failure, all this we have to identify. Then decision to stop testing, ये भी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। इसमें क्या होता है कि इफ यू गो ऑन टेस्टिंग योर सिस्टम देन इट विल keep on showing error. So at some point of time we have to stop testing and we have to deploy the system. ओके, एंड बग सीडिंग, ये भी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है। बग सीडिंग क्या होता है कि हम लोग बग्स इंसर्ट करते हैं एंड देन वी ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट कि whether those bugs are removed or not. So accordingly we come to know whether our system is error free or not. So bug seeding is an important concept in testing. Then discuss the main reasons for project closure. So what are the reasons? See, there are various reasons for project closure और ये बहुत ही simple question है because ये आप अपने knowledge से भी लिख सकते हो. There may be lack of resources, their business needs have changed, perceived benefits are no longer valuable, change to regulatory policies, key technologies used in project is becoming obsolete, and risks have been unacceptably high. And there are two reasons, emotional and intellectual, because of which people don't want to close the project. So people have to somehow they wind up the project and they have to close, because if there is some new project comes then people lose interest in the previous project because now no one is interested, so it is neither close not open. तो क्या करना पड़ता है, हमें प्रोजेक्ट को फाइनली क्लोज करना चाहिए। तो उसका प्रोसेस क्या है, गेटिंग क्लाइंट एक्सेप्टेंस, आर्काइविंग प्रोजेक्ट डिलीवरेबल्स, perceiving project know-how, performing financial closure, then post-implementation project review, and then review report and releasing the staff. So with this, we have completed all the questions of Unit 5. Thank you.